And then there was the marker. During one transplant, I saw him pick it up. Doctor? Relax. He leaned closer to the exposed organ, careful, precise, and wrote something small before the replacement. A signature on someone's liver before replacing it. Not initials. His full last name. I froze. Is that standard? History is written by those bold enough to leave a mark. I didn't report it. That's my shame. My name is Ethan Carter, and I've been a nurse for over a decade. But the first day I stepped into St. Mercy General Hospital, fresh out of nursing school, I felt like I had finally arrived. I've been a nurse long enough to know that hospitals are strange places. People think they're temples of healing. White walls, clean sheets, gentle smiles. But if you work long enough on the inside, you realize hospitals are also confession booths for the worst parts of humanity. I've held hands while people died whispering secrets they'd never told their spouses. I've seen families fight over bodies that were still warm. I've watched miracles happen, and I've watched negligence kill. I thought I'd seen everything. Then I met Dr. Victor Hale. I was assigned to the surgical ward straight out of my 5th year as a registered nurse. Young, idealistic, still stupid enough to believe the system protected patients. Dr. Hale was the star surgeon. Awards framed on walls. Magazine interviews. Donor luncheons. He had that voice. Smooth, confident, the kind that made administrators lean forward when he spoke. When he walked into a room, people straightened their backs like soldiers. The first time I assisted him, I remember thinking something was off. Not wrong, just off. He hummed while scrubbing in, not softly, loud enough to hear through the masks. You always sing before surgery? Music centers me. Art and medicine come from the same place. That should have been harmless. Except his eyes didn't smile when he said it. He operated like a man showing off. Extra movements, lingering pauses. He'd ask for instruments he didn't need, just to feel the room wait for him. And then there was the marker. During one transplant, I saw him pick it up. Doctor? Relax. He leaned closer to the exposed organ, careful, precise, and wrote something small before the replacement. A signature on someone's liver before replacing it. Not initials. His full last name. I froze. Is that standard? History is written by those bold enough to leave a mark. I didn't report it. That's my shame. I told myself it was harmless, that organs get discarded, that maybe it was symbolic, ego-driven nonsense. Nurses survive by rationalizing, but then I started noticing patterns. Patients who coded unexpectedly during his surgeries, charts altered after deaths, complications blamed on pre-existing conditions that hadn't existed before Hale touched them. He listened to music while operating, not classical, heavy bass, industrial sounds, sometimes distorted voices. Once, during a long procedure, I caught a glimpse of his phone balanced discreetly near the instrument tray. The screen wasn't off. It was live. Rows of scrolling comments, symbols, emojis, currency icons. My stomach dropped. Doctor, is that... If you want to keep your job, don't finish that sentence. I went to the head of the hospital 3 weeks later, sat in a leather chair that cost more than my annual salary. These are serious accusations. Patients are dying. He's marking organs. I think he's broadcasting surgeries. Do you have proof? No. But Dr. Hale brings in millions in funding. Be careful what you imply. I was reassigned the next day. Night shifts, fewer hours, subtle punishment. Dr. Hale smiled when he saw me in the hall. Told you, history favors the bold. Then came the Nigerian patient. His name was Chinedu. Middle-aged, soft-spoken, terrified. Needed an emergency abdominal surgery. Dr. Hale walked in, skimmed the chart, and sighed. Why do they always exaggerate pain? He's septic. His vitals. I've operated on worse. In the OR, Hale mocked his accent while he was unconscious. You know, they should be grateful. Back home, this would be a miracle. I snapped. That's inappropriate. The room went silent. You don't tell me how to speak in my operating room. Chinedu died on the table. Cause of death. Sudden complications. I went home and threw up until my throat burned. I started documenting everything. Dates, times, staff present, subtle inconsistencies, anonymous messages from other nurses who were too afraid to speak openly. Then the karma began. Not the kind you plan, the kind that creeps in. Dr. Hale's live stream audience started leaking clips onto hidden forums. Blurred footage, distorted audio, his voice unmistakable. A donor's son recognized it. A journalist caught wind. Meanwhile, Hale's hands began to shake, at first barely noticeable, then worse. He dropped a scalpel during a procedure. "Get me another." The music got louder, his temper shorter. One night, the power flickered mid-surgery. Backup generators kicked in, the live stream cut. Hale screamed. "Do you know how much that interruption cost me?" He shoved a nurse. One night, a young woman was rushed into the hospital after a hit and run. I was getting her ready for surgery when Dr. Victor Hale arrived, calm and listening to music as usual. He moved quickly but carelessly, distracted by his phone, and accidentally caused severe bleeding. As we worked to save her, I noticed a small scar behind her ear. Hale froze and whispered in horror. It was his daughter, the one he kept secret. Despite our efforts, she died. Hale couldn't accept it. He screamed, shook, and started acting strangely, talking to himself, flinching at monitors, obsessively washing his hands. From that night on, he was never the same. His own negligence had killed the one person he truly loved, and it haunted him forever. Then Chinedu's family hired a lawyer who didn't care about hospital donations. Investigators arrived quietly. I was called in. "You tried to report this before?" "Yes." "Why didn't you persist?" "Because the system protects monsters with money." They searched Hale's office, found encrypted drives, dark web accounts, donation trails, and photos, close-ups of organs, with his name written like an artist's signature. The arrest happened during surgery. Security and police burst into the OR. Hale froze, eyes wide, still gripping his scalpel. "You can't do this. I'm saving lives." He bolted, straight for the exit. "Stop, on the ground." Hale ignored them. He ran, panic on his face, the metal floor echoing under his feet. A warning shot rang out, then another. His leg collapsed under him. He fell to the ground, screaming in pain. "Don't move." They handcuffed him, dragging him out of the OR. He was still in his scrubs, soaked in sweat and blood, limp and defeated. No music, no audience. Just the harsh fluorescent lights and the sound of his own failure. The hospital released statements, apologies. We had no knowledge. The administrator resigned quietly. Dr. Hale's trial was public. The livestream audience testified anonymously. Families cried. Chinedu's wife stared at Hale like she could burn him alive with her eyes. Hale never looked at her. He was sentenced, lost his license, lost everything he valued. Last I heard, Hale was in prison. No music, no audience. Just fluorescent lights and endless silence. But silence didn't save him. At night, he saw her. His daughter, Elena. Her face appeared in the shadows. Sometimes she whispered, sometimes she just stared. And every time, his mind replayed the livers he had signed with his own name. Images from his live streams, leaked by the people who once watched him like he was a star, now haunted him endlessly. Inmates knew who he was. They mocked him. "Hey, God of Scalpel, you writing your name on anyone today? Think your music will save you now, doctor?" They pushed him, stole his food, laughed at his trembling hands. Every humiliation chipped away at the man who once thought he was untouchable. It wasn't supposed to happen. I heard rumors Ale got sick in prison. High fever, weakness, enough that they sent him to the prison hospital. The prison doctor didn't care about his reputation, not a bit. "Strip now, we need to check for infections." Hale hesitated, confused and shaking. I don't need, I said now, don't argue. Hale had no choice. He stripped, feeling exposed in front of the guards and inmates who had followed him there, laughing quietly. He had once been feared, admired, untouchable. Now he was humiliated, weak, naked. As for me, I'm still a nurse. I still believe most people come to hospitals to heal. But now I know the difference between confidence and cruelty, between genius and madness. I document everything because evil hates receipts. And if you made it to the end of this story, Congratulations! Your heart is still beating, your organs are unmarked, and your soul passed inspection. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and remember, if your surgeon starts humming industrial music, maybe ask a few more questions first.